In his philosophy, one of the most potent and provocative ideas is that of the eternal return, a concept that asks us to imagine living our lives over and over again, exactly as we have lived them for eternity. It's a mind-bending thought experiment that carries profound implications for how we face life's challenges, particularly when we feel as though we are losing the game of life. The eternal return is not just a metaphysical concept about time and repetition. It is, for Nietzsche, a litmus test for how deeply we engage with life. If we can imagine willingly living our life over and over again, in all its pain and hardship, joy and triumph, without changing a thing, then we have truly embraced life in its totality. He doesn't expect us to simply pass this test in a superficial sense, nor is he asking us to be indifferent to suffering. Rather, he wants us to reflect on how we approach life when we consider it to be finite, fragile, and yet potentially eternal in its repetitions. When we feel like we're losing, like life is slipping from our grasp or becoming overwhelming, it's easy to get caught in a mindset of defeat. We might think, if I can't win in this world, why bother? The eternal return challenges this mindset by asking us, would we still live this life even if there were no escape from its trials, its mistakes, its suffering? In essence, it asks us whether we can love our fate, amor fati, even when it feels like we're losing. This love is not passive resignation, but an active embrace of all the elements that make up our existence. To put it into practice, imagine what it would take for you to accept and even affirm the life you're living now, every aspect of it. If you are struggling, perhaps in a job, a relationship, or with your inner sense of worth, ask yourself, could I embrace these struggles as essential to my becoming? The goal isn't to sugarcoat the challenges, but to reframe them in such a way that they become meaningful steps in our self-overcoming. If you feel like you are losing, the answer he offers isn't to give up or to lament the unfairness of life, but to see your suffering as an integral part of your growth. In fact, his philosophy suggests that the struggle itself is the very source of meaning. The process of grappling with hardship, of pushing through adversity, of continually recreating yourself, is what makes us strong. He speaks of the will to power, the force inside us that pushes us to grow, to become, to transcend the limits that life imposes on us. When we feel like we're losing, the will to power is the force that can help us rise again by finding a new meaning in the struggle. In moments of defeat, it's crucial to focus on resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending that we are always strong. Rather, it is about the ability to rise after a fall, to learn from the struggles, and to keep pushing forward with greater clarity and strength. The key is to understand that, in his terms, we are constantly becoming. We are not finished products, we are works in progress. Even in moments of apparent loss, there is potential for growth, for a deeper understanding of ourselves, and for the creation of meaning. But what does this resilience look like in practical terms? First, it requires a deep honesty with oneself. We must confront our failures, our weaknesses, and our limitations without self-deception. Rather than wallow in self-pity or escape into distractions, we must confront the truth of our situation. From this honesty, we can take action. It might be a small step, a change in perspective, a conversation with someone we trust, a decision to try something new. His philosophy encourages us to make bold choices, even when we feel unsure, because each choice, each attempt to overcome, brings us closer to our own potential. Moreover, we must be patient with ourselves. His vision of becoming is a long and sometimes painful process. Life doesn't always reward us immediately, and the fruits of our struggle often come much later. The key is persistence, facing each day with the resolve to keep going, to keep building, to keep affirming the life we've been given. This is the essence of amor fati, loving the very life we're living in its entirety and not wishing away the moments of struggle. Finally, when we feel like we're losing, it's important to remember that he doesn't promise easy victories. What he offers is the possibility of finding meaning through our struggles. The game of life, as it often feels, is not one of simple success or failure. It's about how we meet the challenges along the way, how we navigate the inevitable losses, and how we choose to continue shaping our path, no matter how difficult. In moments of despair or when we feel like we are losing, his philosophy offers a pathway to resilience, not by denying our pain, but by embracing it, by using it as fuel for personal transformation. When we lose, we are given an opportunity to overcome, to push ourselves further, to assert our will in new and creative ways. And in the end, perhaps that is the ultimate meaning we can find, not in avoiding struggle, but in learning to rise from it stronger and more determined to affirm our existence.